on the gridiron or courtside, you know what time it is. It's
Sports plus life. Sports plus life.
ringside or front court or field pass, we ballin', no. Knuckle up or buckle up, I tell it like it is when I'm on my show. Home run, slam dunk, knockout, or got some dough.
Sports plus life.
Yeah.
Sports plus life.
Ah.
Yo. What's up? What's really good? It's your boy Brandon Bravon Towns, host of that show called Sports Plus Life. We back to normal. Yeah, and you already know what's going down today. So guess what? Turn it off, turn it all the way off. Now, when the last time y'all heard the theme music? I ain't been in hyped to hear the theme music. I ain't done the theme music in about a month though. But again, please allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Brandon Bravon Towns. This here is Sports Plus Life, that there sports podcast where we talk about all of the necessary topics in sports and all of the necessary topics in life. And yes, we are back to normal. I'm sitting behind a microphone. Even though I'm not going to lie, I did enjoy you guys getting to see my pretty, beautiful face, even though I don't think it was in total HD because my phone can be a little trippy, but that's another story for another day. Bottom line is, we're back to normal, we're back to basics, and that is what's up, and that's wonderful. And as long, and I tell you what, we can go back to seeing my pretty, beautiful, wonderful face, made for entertainment, made for television. We can see that more if I get them subscribers to keep coming along and subscribing like I've been able to do over the last 3 weeks. Then I can start doing some YouTube lives. But you know what? I'm not worried about that. That's neither here nor there. I've been doing this podcast for almost 4 years because I love it. Never done it for the views, never done it for the attention. It's a place where I love to talk sports and I can vent. I can talk about life. I can give my opinions and I welcome those opinions back. Definitely hit that subscription button and definitely leave comments on that comment box if you have anything you want to say. I ain't got no problems, but it is Monday, June 20th, 2000 of the 22. And bro, I'm going to tell you something. I wish every day weather-wise could be like today and yesterday because, man, Jesus Christ, Wednesday and Thursday and Friday was just scorchers last week. Oh, my goodness. I'm talking about I was struggling at work, but on last Wednesday, and I brought this up last week on the show, my son graduated from elementary school and I was so proud because he got so many awards. I was like, yo, where did these Jones come from? When the principal called his name and she said, Roman, stand here for a second. She named off 5 awards and I was like, and he was so hyped. I was hyped. I turned into that parent where I was up screaming, shouting, that's my boy. I ain't care at that point because I'm proud. You know, I was definitely proud. I am proud. So, you know, I got the boy a cell phone yesterday. I was going to get him a cell phone anyway because, you know, he's about to go to middle school. But he really definitely earned it. Roman, you know your daddy loves you. London, you know your daddy loves you. I was so proud of that boy. I'm not going to lie. I was so proud. Matter of fact, let's give Roman a standing ovation. I mean, my boy just deserves it so much. But yesterday was Father's Day, and ironically, for this year at least, Father's Day fell on Juneteenth. Okay, of course we know Juneteenth, what was it, last year was just made a national holiday and, a federal holiday. So federal, national, I guess that's the same thing. And as far as, yesterday, look, being Father's Day, I didn't do nothing yesterday. I mean, like I said, I got my son a cell phone yesterday on Father's Day because I wasn't able to get it on Wednesday because I didn't get off work in time to do so. But we all know what comes along with Father's Day. It's not the Father's Day holiday is not made a bigger deal of as Mother's Day. I'm not complaining. I'm just keeping it 100. But as far as Juneteenth goes, how major, I understand it's a federal holiday, but how major are we going to make this? I understand banks and stuff are closed, and the mail, I don't think it's running. I don't know. I have to ask my homeboy Eddie, because he works for the post office, and I don't know. I didn't know the mail ran on Sunday until he told me, yeah, we do Amazon. Anyway, got off topic. But I mean, how big is this holiday going to be made? And while as a black man, I appreciate the acknowledgement of Juneteenth, but is it going to be made into this huge holiday like the 4th of July is going to be in a couple of weeks? Are we going to start shooting fireworks off for Juneteenth? I mean, are we? And just in case, if you didn't know, exactly what happened on Juneteenth, is that around 2,000 Union troops were sent to Galveston, Texas, to free the remaining enslaved black people. The Emancipation Proclamation had been signed a couple of years earlier, but Texas, who had become one of the Confederate States of America, did not acknowledge it. They still had enslaved people. When news got down to Washington, because they won't know, they won't know internet, they won't know Google. When news got back to Washington, Washington sent 2,000 troops in and said, "Okay, this stops now." So that was really the true ending. Every black person in this country on June 19th, 1865, was totally free from slavery, and the last spot to do so was Galveston, Texas. And me being a sports guy and me being a huge boxing fan, would be remiss if I did not mention one of a couple of those people who were still enslaved in Galveston, Texas at that time were the parents of one Jack Johnson. Now, if you don't know who Jack Johnson is, he's the first black heavyweight champion of the world, born in Galveston, Texas. Jack Johnson, to me, is the second greatest heavyweight champion of all time, and I say second by a slim margin, just below Muhammad Ali, because when you think about Muhammad Ali, what he had to go through when he refused to enter the draft for the Vietnam War and how he lost his profession for 3 years, Jack Johnson had to go through way worse than that, because while being heavyweight champion of the world, the first black heavyweight champion of the world, he was a fugitive from the law because he was married to a white woman, and he would marry white women. In 2022, how dumb that sounds? That this happened over 100 years ago. And one of the good things that President Trump did do is that he pardoned Jack Johnson when he first got into office, so it would be wiped off of his record. But yes, Jack Johnson was Muhammad Ali before Muhammad Ali. He was born in Galveston, Texas, and that is the site of where the last set of slaves were set free on June 19th, 1865. Again, how big are they going to make this holiday? I was talking with my brother Sean yesterday when we wished each other happy Father's Day, and we started talking about Juneteenth. I said, it's 3 questions that I have to ask, and I already know the answers to them. In regards to where are we as far as us moving forward as a country? 1, when are the history books in schools, in grade school, in grades K through 12, or when are they going to start teaching the accurate and correct history in this school? Because, me being an 80s baby and growing up in the 90s and early 2000s, as far as I'm concerned, the history that I learned in elementary school was a total lie. It was total bullshit. When are they going to start teaching the accurate history? And the second thing is, when are we going to get to a point in time where legislation, where laws are going to be don't have to be made just to appease black people or other minorities in this country? And what I mean by that is, and I'm not trying to sound racist, I'm just being real. There is not a law on the Constitution in the U.S. law books that affects white men. None at all. There is no law that has been made or that has been passed that affects white men, because those laws written at the beginning of this country was for white men by white men, not even women. And 3, when are we going to truly get the just due as far as you can give us Juneteenth. That's all well and good. Create t-shirts, Black Lives Matter, all of that stuff. We, ha, 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 hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. But when are we going to get the financial reparations that my forefathers had to do for building this motherfucker up? And of course, we know the answer to that. Never. They could do it, but they won't. Why? Because the biggest fear in this country is the economic power, the economic rise to power of black people and brown people. Me and Sean said, we know that ain't never going to happen. And I said, and if it did happen, because if you can pass a bill for $3 trillion for three separate $1 trillion stimulus checks to send out checks to everybody in this country. It's only about 41 million of us in America. Okay, we about 13% of the fucking population. And if they did happen to cut us reparations checks, you think stuff is expensive now? You think shit is expensive now? Whoa, man, let me tell you. Because, hey, if you want the rise of the economy to come back up, hey, cut reparation checks to us. I'm not even trying to be funny. Because it would be, because that's still game-changing, life-changing come up, which black people have deserved for about 400 years. I say, yeah, about 400 years. And if we just talking about slave time, okay, about damn near about over 250, about 250 years worth of labor. And we won't get enough money because we will never get the true of our look. If the true amount of money for a reparations check was cut to black people, all 41 some odd million black people would be millionaires. So you know that's not going to happen. But again, I salute the recognition of Juneteenth. But those three questions to me are really the real issue. So now that I've gotten that off my chest, let's go ahead and get back to some sports. So let's get to it. The NBA Finals are over. They ended last Friday, and once again, back on the throne are the Golden State Warriors. They finished off the Boston Celtics at TD Bank Garden Arena, and they won the last 3 games of these NBA Finals. Remember how that energy was so different when the Celtics were up 2-1? Oh my goodness, they were trashing the Warriors. They were trashing Draymond Green, and they were just saying Boston's too big, too athletic. And I honestly, if you just look at them, player for player, as far as size, athleticism, Boston looked to be the better team. But it's one thing that I gotta tell you, folks. It's something that I tell Tony all the time. It's called that championship DNA. And you were hearing the people prior to Game 4 saying, oh boy, the Warriors are really missing Kevin Durant. He ain't walking through that door anytime soon. And Steph Curry, you just can't get it done by himself. And then after Game 3, Draymond Green, all the distractions with the podcast. After that, Steph said, yo, get on my back. I'm going to drop 43 and 10 to even the series in Game 4. Game 5 had an off shooting night, but Andrew Wiggins, former #1 overall pick, said, I got you, little bro. I got you, little big bro. And Klay Thompson said, I always got your back. And Draymond Green said, what they gonna say about us now? And they gonna go up 3-2. And surely this was going to be a 7-game series, because ain't no way in hell the Golden State Warriors are winning the championship on the parquet floor at the Garden. But Steph Curry said, get on my back one more again. And not just Steph. Jordan Poole said, I've got you, big bro, coming off the bench. Draymond said, I'm going to channel my inner Magic Johnson with the way I'm going to press the pace. And Andrew Wiggins said, I'm going to lock down that superstar that they call Jason Tatum and have him playing like bullshit. And the Golden State Warriors said, checkmate, nigga, on the Boston Celtics. And for Boston, this is how I feel about you as a Laker fan. Bye, bitch. Say it again. Bye, bitch. One more time. Bye, bitch. Woo, y'all thought y'all had championship number 18 wrapped up. Y'all really thought you had it done, didn't you? Well, guess what? Newsflash, too bad you lost, because you choked when the championship DNA arrived at your front door. You folded like a cheap tent. And everybody wants to now question, is Draymond Green, not Draymond Green, Jason Tatum a superstar? I'm sorry. That Chucky laugh. But anyway, man, championship DNA. That's what I'm talking about. This makes 4 championships in the last 8 years. The Dubs dynasty is definitely still alive. And finally, Steph Curry. For everybody that wants to still question anything about Steph Curry, he did it. He won Finals MVP. He deserved it. He averaged about 31, 32 points a game. He carried this team on his back. And this was the least talented team, particularly from an offensive standpoint. This is the least talented team out of their 4 championships because everybody was always throwing some salt on Steph Curry's game for each championship that he won. 2015, Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving got hurt. It was LeBron playing with Matthew Dellavedova. They should have won it. Then Iguodala got MVP. 2017 and 2018, you guys got Kevin Durant. He was the best player on the team. You stacked the deck. Nobody was going to beat y'all. So what can you say about him now? What can you say about Steph Curry now? Now, I want to discuss this with Tony once he gets on the phone, if he should get on the phone today, is top 10 players of all time. I believe Steph Curry has entered that category of top 10 player of all time. Who would you take out? And we'll get to that at another time at a later point. But back to the Golden State Warriors. They're not finished. Make no mistake about it. They could easily be back next year. Now, at the beginning of this basketball season, I thought the Bucks would repeat. And particularly depending on who they played in the finals. But I also said, I would say right about the first month of the season, that I believe Golden State was going to go to the finals. And I said that, I stood by it. Even though Phoenix at times looked unbeatable, I never wavered off of my pick of Golden State. I thought that Milwaukee would repeat if they played Phoenix again. Golden State, I couldn't definitively say that I thought the Bucks would win. The only thing that I would say is that I thought Giannis would average 40 because they have nobody to stop him. You know, they have nobody remotely close that's big enough to guard Giannis. And of course, the Celtics beat the Bucks. Middleton gets injured, but that's not Boston's fault. It's not. You have to play who was on. You have to play who the other opposing team puts out on the floor. Plus, they did beat Milwaukee in a Game 6 closeout game at Milwaukee with the Bucks leading 3-2. But I thought Milwaukee would repeat. I thought Golden State would get there. And I'm going to say this now. I'm already making my finals prediction for next year. And I know free agency hasn't started and the year just ended. I'm looking at what Golden State is going to have coming back. You're going to have those young boys like Kuminga and Moody that are just going to get better in their system. James Wiseman, a big body, a 7-footer, should be back. Klay Thompson, who at times people said, hey, Klay doesn't look right. When you have 2 nearly career-ending injuries, you're not going to look right the very second you step back on the basketball court. Now, what people were looking for Friday night was closeout Klay, because in Game 6 against Memphis, in Game 6 against Dallas, Klay Thompson was unbelievable, reminding everybody that he still can go nuclear hot from the three-point line when he's right. He will now have a chance to rest without having to rehab, and Klay Thompson, even though he'll be 33 years old, I believe will resemble himself more at the defensive side of the ball. Because to me, that's where the effect was. Because Klay Thompson's game has never been dependent upon athleticism. So I believe Klay will be better. Jordan Poole, now that these young boys now have a championship under their belt, he will be better. Steph gonna be Steph. He keeps himself in shape. Steph gonna be Steph. Draymond gonna be Draymond, because Draymond's job ain't to get buckets, it's to be a defensive irritant, play great defense, and facilitate the offense. So I'm looking at all of that again with another year with the younger players under the belt, with coming back a 7-footer in James Wiseman, and the most important part of why I believe the Golden State Warriors will be back in the finals next year is because since Steve Kerr has been the head coach of the Golden State Warriors, you know how many times they have lost in the Western Conference in the playoffs? Never. Since Steve Kerr has been the coach of the Golden State Warriors, all 6 times that they've been to the playoffs, All 6 times they have made it out of the Western Conference. Now, with that, I will say there are 2 teams that I think that would be the biggest threats to beat the Golden State Warriors in the postseason. From the Eastern Conference, it would have to be in the finals. I believe the Milwaukee Bucks. I think the Milwaukee Bucks are going to come out of the Eastern Conference. I do. And like I said, again, this is early prognostication. I don't know anything about free agency or anything like that. But I believe the Bucks would have the best chance. And in the West, them damn Los Angeles Clippers. I believe the Los Angeles Clippers, if fully back and healthy, and that's a big if because, Kawhi, we talk about Kyrie Irving all the time missing games. Kawhi does it too. He just had a torn ACL. He had a legitimate reason. Kawhi missed games too. Trend started by Coach Greg Popovich. I'm sorry, people don't point that out enough, that the whole load management shit started with one of the greatest coaches ever to do it. Okay, but that's neither here nor there. Healthy Los Angeles Clippers team, I believe, would give Golden State a run for their money and potentially beat them. Those are the 2 biggest threats. I don't see it with Phoenix. Their window passed. I don't see it with Phoenix. Denver's on that list where they, to me, just below the Clippers because you'll have Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. coming back with Jokic. But again, with Jamal Murray, if you think you're going to see bubble playoff Jamal Murray as soon as he steps back on the basketball court after sitting out a year, it's not going to happen. Denver will be better. They will be better. I'm not going to deny that. I could see Denver possibly being the 3rd seed in the West behind Golden State and the Clippers. But I see Phoenix as their time has passed. They'll probably be a good regular season team. I think the Lakers will be back in the playoffs. Of course, on the contrary to that, I think the Utah Jazz will fall out of the playoffs this next coming up season. But yes, I have the Golden State Warriors going back to the championship next season. I have to see them lose in the Western Conference in the playoffs in order to believe it. I understand they had the 2 down years that started with the injuries back in the 2019 finals. Then Kevin Durant bolts, Klay Thompson is out. Steph actually gets hurt misses most of the 2019-2020 season. And then you still had to deal with no Klay in the 2020-2021 season. Getting a little tongue twisted. But that's what makes this championship for Golden State much sweeter. This is why I root for them. I'm a diehard Lakers fan, but I fuck with the Warriors hard because their three core players are drafted and homegrown. That being Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. People need to give more shout outs to Mark Jackson as well and Jerry West. But I rock with them, and they do, they do things, they just play beautiful basketball. And Kevin Durant chose to come there, and everybody likes to knock Golden State for that. Well, you went and got Kevin Durant because you couldn't beat LeBron. I don't know this to be actual factual, but this has always been my opinion in regards to why the Golden State Warriors recruited Kevin Durant after the 2016 NBA Finals, because I believe the Golden State Warriors got screwed in that finals. The whole suspension of Draymond Green to me was bogus. For a star player in the finals to get suspended on an incident that LeBron James actually started, you could have suspended Draymond at the beginning of the next season. I believe if Draymond never gets suspended, I believe they win that series in 5, because I always thought Golden State was a better team than Cleveland, whether they had Kyrie or Kevin Love on the floor with LeBron or not. So I believe the Warriors said, okay, we're going to be petty now. We're going to go out and get Kevin Durant and leave absolutely no doubt about who the best team in basketball is. I believe that was their mindset, not we need you to get past LeBron, because I think they knew they could beat LeBron, needed the NBA to help him get past Golden State. But nobody says that. That's just the way I have always felt. That's why, no disrespect to the city of Cleveland and fans of Cleveland, I don't respect that 2016 title. Not one iota. To me, the NBA interjected itself, and the Warriors said, we're going to get some get back. And people have always held that against Steph Curry for as to why, he doesn't have a finals MVP, KD is better. And like I said, when I started talking about sports today, what you gotta say about Steph Curry now? I made a short video about it right after they won the championship on Friday. What you gonna say about Steph Curry now? Because, okay, 2015, Kevin Love and Kyrie was hurt. Well, nobody hurt on this Boston team. And like I said, the verbiage, the language, the content was very different after game 3. People was just about ready to award the damn championship to Boston, and they didn't win another game. Just like in 2015 when the Cavaliers were up 2-1 and we're like, whoa, hey, Matthew Dellavedova, this Curry stopper, and all of that other bullshit. And the Cavaliers did not win another game. Steve Kerr did in 2022 what he did in 2015. Made a simple lineup tweak. Said, Kevon Looney, we need somebody else to space the. We need to take you out so we can have somebody else to space the floor. Let's insert Otto Porter. In 15, okay, we got to sit somebody down. We need Andre Iguodala to start. Now, of course, Otto Porter was not going to go on to win Finals MVP, but Boston didn't win another game. They ain't win another motherfucking game. And the Warriors are talking shit too. And you know what? Good for them. Klay Thompson came out and called out one of the players from the Memphis Grizzlies. I believe it was Jaren Jackson, about a tweet that he made during the season after the Grizzlies beat the Warriors. And he called him, and Klay called him a bum and said, you never even been there. You know, we know how to get it done. And then Ja Morant sends out a tweet saying we got a lot of real estate, talking about living in the Warriors' head rent free. And then Draymond Green says, well, the real estate was better in Boston because we living in their head. So I love it. I love it. And the Warriors walk with your, say it with your chest. Say it with your chest nuts dangling. We back. Biatch. I'm serious. They've earned it. They definitely have earned it. Because if you don't think that a lot of salt and shade was getting thrown their direction those 2 years where they were down, think about 2 years ago, they had the worst record in the league. Do you think a lot of shade wasn't getting thrown in their direction? Please. Teams were absolutely enjoying kicking the Warriors while they were down. And even some of the media enjoyed kicking the Warriors while they were down. And, I mean, all of the above is why I believe Steph Curry got so emotional at the end of Game 6, because there was all of the questions about him. You can't ask him no more. Can he be the driving force? Goodness gracious. Now people again have started questioning, hey, Kevin Durant, did you make the right move? Did you make the right decision? I mean, all I can say is that championship DNA, bruh. Championship DNA. And like I said, in the Western Conference, I have not seen them beat the last 6 times that they have been in the playoffs under Steve Kerr's watch. And we got to give shout outs to Steve Kerr. You talking about a winner. This is his 9th championship between being a player and being a coach. He won 5 with the 5 on the court as a player, 3 with the Bulls, 2 with the Spurs. I mean, you're coached by Phil Jackson and Greg Popovich. I mean, you played with Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, Tim Duncan, and David Robinson. I mean, my God. What did he say afterwards in the press conference? It's good to hang out with when you hang out with superstars, good things happen. And now he's won 4 as a coach. And, you know, they are, once again, they're the gold standard of the NBA. I don't care what you say. They are the gold standard of the NBA, and they have just proved it, and they have just flexed their muscles all over again. So I salute the 2021-2022 Golden State Warriors for getting back on the throne. And if you notice, when I mentioned the teams that could potentially take them out, I did not say my Los Angeles Lakers, because I got to see what we do in free agency. And no matter what we do, I don't know if it's going to be enough to get on that level. Why do you think LeBron is trying to send little encrypted messages? I would sure love to play with Golden State. Steph Curry is like, nah, we straight over here.
Bye, bitch.
And now I got with me brother Calvin. He's no stranger to the show. First of all, how was your Father's Day, bro?
It was all right. It was pretty good. How was yours?
Mine was cool. I ain't do shit. I cooked on the grill. That's it.
That's the format. I remember somebody on my up here was talking about like, yeah. When it's Mother's Day, we got to take them a Red Lobster and Rooster Chris. But it was Father's Day, we got to cook on the grill. And I was telling him because, nigga, we paying for both of them anyway.
You ain't never lied about that, bro. You ain't never lied about that. I mean, I mentioned that earlier on the show. I said, we got to go all out for Mother's Day. For Father's Day, it's like, yeah, okay. Happy Father's Day, Dad,
I mean, it's because we paying for the shit anyway. Like, how many, like, your girl or your wife, whatever, like, if she was to take you out to Father's Day, 9 times 10, that's what you be paying for it anyway, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, that's why I called you yesterday, too, to let you know that I was cooking on the grill if you wanted to come through. But these NBA Finals are over with, and you see, once again, back on the throne are the Golden State Warriors. What are your thoughts?
Well, kind of mad about it because I was going for the underdog, and I told you, I don't know if it was talking about you, talking to you or whatever, but, I told you Golden State wanted the underdog, you know what I'm saying? But I was kind of mad because I lost $50 on them, but as to the thing about it, at the end of the day, they earned that shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, you called it. You said, I remember you saying, like, the only team that could really beat them that was left in the finals, left in the playoffs was Phoenix and/or Milwaukee. And once they went down, I kind of, like, expected that, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I actually thought that Boston was a bad matchup for Golden State. I did. I really thought that Boston was a bad matchup because of how athletic they were and them having the number one defense. And everybody was on Boston's train after Game 3 when they were up 2-1. Everybody was trashing Draymond, trashing Steph, trashing Clay, and then they turned the series around.
Yeah, but because they've been there before. I mean, they've been there before. They know what that's what when you hear shit like championship DNA.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's what that means. To know, like, hey, don't pay, you know what I'm saying? Like, because Game 4, they got to put 11 points in the first quarter and started celebrating. Like, it's not over. Do you know who you are fucking with?
Yeah, it's right. Right. Exactly.
You got a long way to go. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of rooting for Boston. You know what I'm saying? I was rooting for them.
Well, I call Golden State. The Skip called Boston as well. He had been right about Boston pretty much all playoffs until the finals.
Yeah.
And I told him I thought Golden State in 7, but after I saw Golden State in Game 5, that was the one bad game Steph had shooting-wise. When I saw the way they played Game 5, I said, they might want to finish this deal in Boston because you don't want to give the Celtics no momentum coming back to Golden State for a potential Game 7. Then all the pressure goes on the home team for Game 7. And they handled their business. Steph came out and was dropping 30-foot threes like nothing.
They earned that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? They earned that last game. Now, some of that shit, like at the beginning of the series, when they was in Golden State, a lot of like some of them, you know what I'm saying? They got some of those. They got some, I call them Hall of Famer calls. You know what I'm saying? Like you're dealing with a Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? A lot of calls can go his team way, like tic-tac shit. But that's to be expected on that stage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to me, I looked at it, and I told Skip this on the podcast last week. I said, you could look at this one or two ways, and this is when the series was tied up at 2. I said, you can look at it as Boston is too big, too athletic, too strong. I said, but you could also look at it as Golden State could be up 3-1 had they not put in the NBA Jam cheat code for being on fire, making every 3 they took in the fourth quarter of Game 1.
Yeah.
And and like I said, Steve Kerr made the adjustments, and after it was 2-1, Boston didn't see another game.
That's another thing too that we be overlooking, man. This nigga Kerr, man, that man got what, 9 rings?
9 rings. I was just talking about it before we got on the phone.
He got 9 rings. He's been around a lot of winning basketball.
Yep.
And it's nothing he can't adjust to or can't see. Especially, it's nothing they can't overcome. Especially when you got 2 of the greatest. You got 23s easily on your side. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing you can experiment and say, okay, that didn't work, and catch up. Experiment again. Okay, that didn't work, and catch. You know how many times they can do that shit?
Oh, absolutely.
That man has been around so much good basketball, man. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and he said at the press conference, he said, when you hang out with superstars, good things happen. I literally just pointed that out before we got on the phone, how Steve Kerr won 5 chips as a player, 3 with Chicago, 2 with San Antonio, and now 4 as a head coach. And I don't overlook him, and this is why I don't overlook him. Since he's been the coach of Golden State, and every year that they get to the playoffs, they always have gotten to no less than the finals.
Right. And they've been, they just ain't been healthy the last couple of years. But
right.
But you know what I'm saying? It's I'm not shocked. I mean, this who the fuck they've been. This who they've been.
Yeah, this is what they do.
I mean, Boston, they did what they were supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you took game 1. You got to have, in Golden State, you got to have game 1. You know what I'm saying? You got to get game 1 in Golden State.
Yep.
Without that, you have no chance. I don't care what you do, game 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got to have game 1. You got to have that drink. You know what I'm saying? Like when J.R. Smith did that little bullshit, Cleveland, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, in 2018?
Yeah. Monkey ass nigga. Yeah, but you got to have game 1. They did that. I was like, okay, you get game 1. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You got to get game 1. Then they just the championship DNA. It was just too much. You know what I'm saying?
Championship DNA. That's pretty much been the theme of this show.
I forgot. I be forgetting on the podcast. Why you think Mark Jackson ain't get that Lakers job? I think he just covered too much baggage.
I don't know. I think, Mark Jackson is in a situation where, honestly, unfortunately, I feel like he's kind of being blackballed himself because he I shouted him out on the show too because he's the one who drafted Steph, Clay, and Draymond. Him and Jerry West. And I think he rubbed that Golden State management the wrong way so bad. I think it was him. I think they said he was just over religious at times.
I think so too. I think he just come with so much shit. Like I've heard reports that he's like when he on go to P head when he one of his stipulations, one of the things he was talking about in the interview was like he needed to have a church or something. He had a lot of stuff with him. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, he wears his religion on his sleeve, and I don't think you should be penalized for that, especially if you're a good coach. Mark Jackson proved himself to be a damn good coach, and I don't think it's fair that he's never gotten another opportunity. And this has been for what? Well, Kerr's been the coach for 8 years, so this has been damn near a decade. I don't think it's right that he hasn't gotten another single solitary opportunity. I thought he should have been hired coach of the Knicks, the Nets, and the Lakers.
Right. I just wonder what your thoughts was on this shit, because I just wondering, like, damn, if he's so outstanding, why they ain't shit on him like that?
I mean, it just, I guess his religious views must rub some people the wrong way. But again, I don't think that's enough. In my eyes, that's not enough to keep him away from being a coach.
Right, because that's something you say about people of Muslims. Not saying that I feel like that. That's the excuse they use about Muslims. I mean, it's a Christian. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that one's better than the other, but that excuse really don't fly. It got to be some other type. It got to be something else.
Well, it may be something else that nobody else knows about, but I've always been amazed that a guy who, the Golden State was going to the playoffs pretty much on the norm with Mark Jackson as the coach. Curry, Steph, Clay, and Dre were just, I said Curry, Steph. Steph, Clay, and Dre were just so young. They were just so young, but they were going to the playoffs. They even advanced, I believe one time. But, he was an outstanding head coach. And I just find that hard to believe that no other team, particularly teams that need good head coaches. Like I said, instead of bringing in Steve Nash, the Nets should have brought in Mark Jackson.
Yeah, because he didn't have no coaching experience. He didn't have no coaching experience, did he?
None. No.
He wasn't even an assistant.
He wasn't even a peewee coach. No, none.
Yeah. White Phillips for your ass, man.
So I just find that hard to believe because some of these, like a team like the Brooklyn Nets with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, Kyrie Irving came out and said, well, we really don't need a coach after Steve Nash got hired. Yeah, you do. And, you've won one playoff series since y'all signed and was supposed to be the next big thing. One playoff series. And yes, and I believe a coach like Mark Jackson puts you on the straight and narrow.
Yeah. Oh, I got, I got my conspiracies.
Yeah, I know.
2 conspiracies for you. Okay. Being at the finals all said and done. Remember I told you, we were talking about Jordan wasn't vulnerable in the way that LeBron James is, and like how the social media, you're able to attack LeBron James in a way you've never been able to attack Jordan. Like had Jordan shit happen this day and age when it came to like the gambling and the writing of the love letter to that actress. You remember that? Don't we
yeah.
Shit like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The powers that be would have thought about taking, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like it's 2 seats in the NBA. Sometimes they intertwine. The best player in the game and the face of the NBA. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like LeBron has been the face of the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Now that Mr. Curry is tied with him, and the fact that they try to make us seem as most important, but we know it's not because they don't really compare. It's what's the word? It don't apply to everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now that they tied, and they're gonna say he never lost the finals. But they'll never say about him not. They'll never put in the fact that he didn't make the playoffs a couple of times. But now that he's tied with LeBron, and he's tied with LeBron. He never lost the finals. Watch they gonna try to make him the face of the franchise.
No, he has lost finals. Golden State has lost 2 finals.
Oh yeah, he did. He did. What am I talking about?
Yeah, they lost.
I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised if we see a huge shift. You know what I'm saying? Because he's younger.
Well, Steph, he's younger, but he's not that much younger. It's not like he's...
And LeBron?
Yeah, Steph is 34 years old.
Oh, my God, is he?
Yeah, Steph is 34 years old. He came into the league in 2009, bro.
Oh, damn. What am I thinking?
He came in
LeBron when he came in at 16? No, he was 18.
18, yeah, 18. LeBron is 37, Steph is 34. Steph, low-key, has been one of the faces of the NBA. He's been, I would have to say the second leading face to LeBron. But I think one of the reasons why LeBron is such the face of the league is because, people are just obsessed with talking about him. Even when you don't need to talk about him. Like, that's the one thing that annoys me about Undisputed with Skip Bayless. If it's 3 things they're going to talk about on that show,
it's
Dallas, Tom Brady, and LeBron James. Even if LeBron James puts out a tweet that just says, look up, they're going to be like, well, what encrypted messages in that? And they're going to spend 30 minutes talking about just dumb shit.
Yeah. I saw a glimpse of his podcast. Skip Bayless, that shit is like, he's a narcissist. Like, that shit, it's creepy how he just sit there and, I don't know, I didn't like this. Maybe I only seen 5 minutes of it, but I didn't like this shit.
I haven't watched Skip Bayless's podcast because while I absolutely love Skip, the length that Skip Bayless goes to discredit people can sometimes rub me the wrong way. Like, I'll give you a perfect example. After Golden State lost to Boston in Game 3. Of course, Skip comes out and says everything negative about Steph. Well, if you're that guy, I need you to show me something. Truly, people who are that guy, they'll come out in the finals and they'll put up 40. Give me 40 points, Steph. He said, give me 40 points. And in Game 4, Steph Curry put up 43 and 10. And then the next day, Skip Bayless is like, well, I don't know if that was a virtuoso game because Klay Thompson shot with 5 minutes left. I'm like, can't nobody win with you.
I'm not trying to be racist, but he's just a typical white man bending reality to his real. That's all that is.
To me, he's a cartoon. To me, he's more like a cartoon monster.
Yeah, but for real, all them talking heads, for real, if you listen to them based on like the top ones, every player has to make every shot and play every minute. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, can't nobody, like, you know, and so I haven't listened to his podcast. I'm probably not, because like I said, the lengths that he goes. Now, one reason why I love Skip Bayless is because nobody stands up for the black community outside of sports other than like Skip Bayless does. You know, and I love him for that. But in sports, like I said, the length that he goes to unless you Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, or fucking Baker Mayfield for whatever reason.
He's trying to tell a story. Man.
Yeah.
We don't want a story to be told. We want to know you want to know about the game. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, if I ever debated Skip Bayless, I would annihilate him.
I think you give him a run for your money.
I would annihilate him because this is what I would do.
If it was fair, if it was on fair footing, so you know what I'm saying? Like
if we talked about a current game, what happened in a current game, I would force him to just talk about that current game. I wouldn't allow him, because this is what he does, especially when it's Tom Brady playing. If Tom Brady loses a game, first of all, he blames everybody else. Second of all, when he has no leg to stand on, he talks about shit that Tom Brady did back in 2008 that nobody cares about, or 2010.
We're not gonna have no Tom Brady slander.
Yeah, I mean, no, because and this is what I would tell him. Fuck your time machine. I'm not allowing you to hop in your time machine to go revisionist history. It's about the here and now, period.
Yeah.
I don't care about what Tom Brady did in 2020, what happened in 2022. Or I don't care about what the Baker Mayfield stuff is just funny to me.
Right. Well, when you have because all that shit is based on ratings, so when you have like your rate, you know what I'm saying, they always go by like, you know what I'm saying, how many people tune in the show and whatever. And if you are on, if that show showed, then they kind of like run with it or whatever. And that brings me to like my next conspiracy theory. You remember that shit that Stephen A. Smith Poole with Matt Kellerman? Like, yeah, there's rumors that I wanted you off the show, and I did. You know what I'm saying? Kind of flexed on them. Remember that shit? You know, do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
You know what I'm saying? That boy in hot water now, because he got people on there that's on. You see that shit that happened with J.J. Redick and C.J. McCollum?
Oh, yeah, I did. They had C.J. McCollum on today. Oh, yeah, C.J. McCollum straight up called him out.
Yeah. Hey, that shit ain't gonna fly no more. You know what I'm saying? That shit not gonna fly no more. Because then because they turn the tables, and they did exactly what he do to people. When he was like, how can you say that? He's supporting his coach and a black man. He was like, don't say that, don't do that, don't bring about it. I was like, Stephen A. Smith, that's what you do all the fucking time. You know what I'm saying? You do that shit all the fucking time. Like, and so what's gonna happen? I'm telling you, what's gonna happen is because they gonna go with the hot hand. They not loyal to you. It's a business. They not loyal to you. Once them boys start getting in your ass and making points, you gonna be the next Max Kellerman.
Well, see, what it is with First Take is that I'm pretty sure the network likes when players come at Stephen A's neck like that, because it keeps ratings high and they keep switching up the players. See, this is why First Take is still better than Undisputed. This is why First Take has been number one for the last 10 years. They're more versatile. They'll bring on athletes to challenge Stephen A. or whoever, Stephen A. or Max Kellerman when he was there. They'll bring other athletes. They'll bring other analysts on. They have different segments. They get up. They move around. Undisputed is more just like barbershop. Skip and Shannon sitting at the table. That's it. And then on top of that, women have a voice on First Take. Skip Bayless is as much as I love him, Skip Bayless is a caveman. He doesn't want a woman's point of view in regards to sports. He wants the moderator to look pretty, ask questions, and shut the fuck up.
Yeah, because she was. I mean, is it him or is it the network? Because when they first started, it was a lady sitting at the table. Now it's not. You know what I'm saying? Well,
they changed that because of the lady used to sit at the table, but then when COVID happened, that was more or less about social distance.
They never brought it back.
Yeah, and they just never brought it back.
Because if he wanted her back, he probably could have got her back.
I'm pretty sure he could, but again, like I said, it's more barbershop style. I love Shannon Sharp, but this is why First Take is still a better show, because they're more versatile. They have more athletes, they have more celebrity guests, and then on the most important, they have more women. They have more women giving their opinion. That's why they've been number one for a decade, and Undisputed. It's predictable. It's predictable. you know.
So I think I'm gonna tell you. I just watched it for Shannon Sharp.
Yes, that's mostly why I watch Undisputed for
Hey.
Shannon Sharp.
You know who Shannon Sharp? You know who am I? You know who I feel like a two kindred spirit and like the same. But I think Shannon Sharp and Warren Sapp are the same dude, man. I don't know what. Hey, I was watching the Pivot podcast, man. I was like, man, if that ain't Shannon Sharp. And then I went back and watched some other shit. I was like, man, you dudes. Because think about it, they both were small. They both were considered small for this business. You couldn't shut them the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. But look,
I would love to see them. I know he was on Shannon Sharp. I would love to see something with them, man.
now I do watch Club Shay Shay. I do watch his podcast. Yeah, Club Shay Shay, that's some good stuff right there. I do watch it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go ahead and let you go, bro. I just wanted your opinion on what's going on with the NBA Finals. We will talk again because we got some football to discuss, bro. We definitely
I know, man.
And again,
I love you, man.
I love you too, man. And if I'm a Tampa Bay Bucks fan, which you are, I'm looking at Tom Brady with the side eye.
Why you say that?
Well, because clearly he wanted to leave y'all.
Yeah.
I would look at him like, well, you know what? I hope if I'm a Tampa Bay Bucks fan, this is how I'm looking at Tom Brady. I hope we win the Super Bowl. But if we don't win the Super Bowl, I hope on your very last play of the season you tear your ACL for trying to leave us.
He did give me a Super Bowl. You know what? When we lost that playoff game, I was devastated. You know what I'm saying? I felt like life won't go on. Then I thought about hold on, let me finish this thought.
Go ahead.
About how Dallas fans had to do this for 30 years and not even make the playoffs, losing in a last game of the season with promo. And I'm like, it ain't that bad. But I think when you're dealing with, you know what I'm saying, you're dealing with shit like that, like somebody like who when you get to like somebody on Tom Brady's level, who's like an institution in itself, I think a lot of that was just business prospering, leverage. You know what I'm saying? That was leverage to get Bruce Arians out the door. I don't think I think he's beginning to not like Bruce Arians, and I think a lot of the team, the locker room in itself, did not like how Bruce Arians treated Antonio Brown. I don't think they like that. I didn't think they liked that at all. From the stuff I read, they didn't like that, and it's been going on for a long time. It's been going on since Pittsburgh. And because I've seen on the pod, I mean, I know you've seen the podcast where you like Ben Ross, Antonio Brown said, Ben Roethlisberger had to tell him, like, look, enough is enough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, he's probably, Antonio Brown's probably an asshole because he's from Florida, and Florida niggas are stubborn like that. You know what I'm saying? They stubborn. You know what I'm saying? They cross the line.
I remember one time he told me he reminded you of a north side nigga.
He do. He do. It's just do little shit. You know what I'm saying? So they had to find a medium. So Brady, he is leverage. He has the leverage. Like I'll walk. If something don't happen, I'll walk. And they came into a medium. Like, why is the nigga upset? You know what I'm saying? You know, like he just won Super Bowl 2 years ago. It's a lot of politics into that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, definitely.
And I've seen it because you know what I'm saying, I work with a lot of sneaky people. And they do shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So he's threatening to walk, and they drop little stuff here and there. Oh, he's trying to get here. He's trying to get there. He might be doing this. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And to let them know he's really serious. And they were like, okay, all right, cut this shit. What you want? Say, look, you got to go. They're going to bring Antonio Brown back.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so, but you never know. You could be right. Well, look, I mean, if Antonio Brown comes back, I hope the rest of his football career is better than his rapping career. But that's another story for another day. But all right, bro, I'm going to go ahead and let you go. Hey,
right,
again, till next time. Love you, boy.
Love you too, man.
All right, man.
Roman, get a job.
Hey, who you telling? Who you telling? Yeah, I'm going to tell him get a job, pay his new damn cell phone bill. All right, bro. Big C in the motherfucking house. But now, since we're pretty much been talking about the NBA Finals all day, what I want to do is I want to now pose a question as far as the top 10 of all time is concerned. because that's something that has been widely discussed, especially now that the Golden State Warriors, now that Steph Curry has his 4th title. So we sit here and we say, is Steph an all-time top 10 player? We have some people saying yes. We have some people saying no. I'll just go by what ESPN's top 10 of all time looks like, and I'll let you know what my all-time top 10 would be. And now we have that picture up there. So of course, this is just by, I'm just going by ESPN's, just off the top of my head. First people I thought about. You had 1 Jordan, 2 LeBron, 3 Kareem, 4 Bill Russell, 5 Magic Johnson, 6 Wilt Chamberlain, 7 Larry Bird, 8 Tim Duncan, 9 Kobe, 10 Shaq. Now, for one, my top 10 looks a little bit different than that, but I do believe that Steph Curry should be considered a top 10 all-time player. I have him in my top 10, so that then it begs to ask, who would you remove from the top 10? And this is if I was removing somebody onto ESPN's list. Again, my top 10 list is different. But if I'm ESPN and I'm putting Steph in the top 10, I've heard a lot of people talking about moving out Wilt Chamberlain. No, you can't do that. And I tell you why. Because Wilt Chamberlain, there are 3 people on this top 10 list where you either had to change the rules for them or they were the first of their kind. And Wilt Chamberlain is one of those guys. You had to change. He was so damn good, you had to change the rules just to make it a fair fight. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is another one. He had the most indefensible shot in the history of basketball in the skyhook. And Magic Johnson, the NBA's first original unicorn. Nobody had ever seen a 6'9" point guard, particularly with the ball handling skills, the passing ability, unguardable. A guy who's listed at point guard who can play at all 5 positions. You've heard me say this on the show before. Magic Johnson, too quick for big men, too big for little men. Unstoppable. So those 3 people, they changed. I mean, because the rest of these guys on this list are really reincarnations of other people. For example, Kobe's a reincarnation of Michael Jordan. And there are a lot of people, particularly back in the day, that saw Michael Jordan as a reincarnation of Dr. J. LeBron James is a reincarnation of Magic Johnson. Shaquille O'Neal is a reincarnation of Wilt Chamberlain. Now, when you look at guys like Bird and Russell, I can never take Russell out of the top 10 because 11 championships is 11 championships. But I can't have him in my top 5 because you're winning championships when color TV was the wave of the future. And there were only 8 basketball teams, and most of the Hall of Famers played on your team. Bird fell in the middle of the Magic era. Even though he had 3 championships himself. Nothing to sneeze at. Tim Duncan was before, during, and after the Shaq and Kobe era. Now, as far as ESPN's list, if I'm removing anybody from the ESPN list, and I thought this was hard because originally I thought ESPN had Oscar Robertson in there, Oscar Robertson in the top 10, and I would move him out to bring Steph in. I have to move out Bird. Because Steph Curry is one of those people on the level of a Kareem, Magic, and Wilt. He has revolutionized. There's a part of basketball that is the way it is because specifically of him. He's revolutionized the game. Not the fact that people are jacking up threes all the time. No, that was Mike D'Antoni's 7 seconds or less Phoenix Suns that did that 20 years ago. But as far as changing the thought process of players playing basketball, changing the distance of players shooting 3-point shots from, Steph Curry has changed the game. He's changed the game, so I have to put him in place of Bird in ESPN's top 10. Okay, now my top 10 looks a little different. To me, Magic, Kareem, pick one or two. Now, pick 1 or 2, and people say, wait, you ain't got Jordan number 1? Nope. I do not. Pick Magic or Kareem, whichever. Then number 3, Jordan. 4, Kobe. 5, LeBron. 6, Wilt. 7, Russell. 8, Steph. Yeah, I have Steph vaulting up all the way to number 8. Now, I get a little tricky with number 9 because I could have this 9 and 10, but I see these two players as dead equal when it comes to all-time players. That is Shaquille O'Neal and Tim Duncan. So I would either have them tied for number 9 and put Bird in at number 10, or just have it being Shaq and Duncan as 9 and 10. You pick the order. But that's my top 10. That's my top 10. Be that as it may, do whatever you want. Again, Magic and Kareem, you pick the order. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell, Steph Curry, Shaquille O'Neal and Tim Duncan, or Tim Duncan and Shaquille O'Neal. If you want to go for a tie at 9 and then Bird in at 10th, or you could just say Shaq and Duncan. I mean, but I believe Bird should be incorporated in there. But to me, Shaq and Duncan they're pretty much they're the same. They're the same. Nobody was as dominant as Shaq since Wilt Chamberlain, and Tim Duncan's the best power forward, whatever. Now, if you're looking at my list and you're saying, boy, you crazy, you don't have Jordan at the top, you don't have LeBron at the top, and it's not that I don't respect those players. Look, I put it to you like this. Michael Jordan, if I had to assemble a team, a starting 5 to play a game where my life depended on it, you damn right Michael Jordan is in that lineup. He is in that lineup. LeBron James, I have him at number 5, and LeBron purists will act like I just committed a sin. But I have said this for years and years and years. When did LeBron pass Magic? When did LeBron James pass Kobe? And this is just my opinion. They say, well, you're just going on a ring count. Okay, so what? So what? 4 championships. Magic has 5. Kobe has 5. Magic Johnson spent 85% of his career in the NBA Finals. In the 12 full seasons that he played, 9 times he went to the finals, and he won 5 of them. Kobe went to the finals 7 times and won 5 of them. I don't care that LeBron James has gone to the finals 10 times. He's delivered 4 championships. Plus, the mercenary mentality that LeBron James has exuded. Mind you, he's never done anything outside of free agency. So I'm not sitting there and saying LeBron forced his way out of this situation like you see these players doing now, like you've seen James Harden, like you've seen a Ben Simmons do. No. But the mercenary mentality and wanting to pair up with other top 5 players, in my book, I have to hold that against LeBron James. He was free to do whatever the hell he wanted. I have to hold that against LeBron because it's like, do you think Magic Johnson would have ever wanted to team up with Larry Bird?
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
To beat Isaiah Thomas or Michael Jordan? You think Isaiah Thomas would team up with Michael Jordan, or Bird with Magic? Or Bird with Jordan, or Jordan with Magic? No. These guys wanted to beat each other. You look at now and say that those 80s Los Angeles Laker teams were super teams. They weren't considered super teams back then in the 80s. And anybody who's older than me damn well knows it. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was a Laker about 3 years before Magic got there. You drafted Michael Cooper. You drafted James Worthy. You drafted A.C. Green. You drafted Byron Scott. And if you're the Boston Celtics, you drafted Bird. You drafted McHale. You got Dennis Johnson over from Seattle and Robert Parrish from Golden State. But Cornbread Maxwell, another one. The Chicago Bulls. The one notable free agent that they picked up was Dennis Rodman, and the Bulls were not seen as a super team. Coming into that season, the Bulls weren't seen as a super team. We only say that now because you look at the past results. Okay, with the Bulls, especially that those first 3 championships. You drafted Jordan, Pippen, Grant, B.J. Armstrong. You know what I mean? You're all homegrown. So the mercenary mentality of LeBron, I want to go play with Chris Bosh and D. Wade. Okay, your prerogative. I want to come back and play with Kevin Love, and let's move Andrew Wiggins and get Kevin Love. Okay, I want to play with Anthony Davis, so let's get Anthony instead of a young core for the Lakers that is very talented. But I want I want to play with Anthony Davis. Let's bring in Russell Westbrook. Let's create the 2K12 All-Stars in 2022. I have him ranked as my top 5. But I take all of this stuff into account. When I never have thought for 1 second that LeBron James has passed Magic or Kobe, since everybody takes LeBron's words and hang on to him like it's the gospel on the Mount Rushmore of basketball. And again, this is just my opinion. I mean, feel free to disagree. You can call me a crazy ass fool on the comment box if you so choose to. But this is my opinion, and I definitely welcome anybody who wants to be on the show, who wants to give me their opinion. I welcome it. I love it because it's only sports, baby. It's only sports. You know, we also got that real life stuff that we got to deal with. And I touched on the real life stuff earlier in the show when I mentioned the celebration of Juneteenth and also celebrating my son. And here's one thing that I forgot to do before we get up out of here, and this is me kind of going off topic, is me sending my shout outs to everybody, and it's everybody, my Black and Gold family and my family in general. Just sending shout outs, sending the love out. And while that was on my mind, I didn't want to forget. So, but yes, sending out all my shout outs. But again, anybody is more than welcome to holler at your boy on Sports Plus Life. Look, man, I've been doing this for almost 4 years. On Thanksgiving of this year, we'll make 4 years of Sports Plus Life. And it's wonderful. It's great because I can give my crazy sports topics, and anybody's more than welcome to be like, boy, you a trip. You tripping. That's why I be having my peoples come on and talk with me. Now, as a sports guy, this now that the NBA season is over, is going to lead to kind of a dry period in sports unless you are a diehard Major League Baseball fan, which I am not, because of various reasons that I have explained through the course of time on my podcast. But I will say this, though. Are you paying attention to my New York Yankees? Okay? Have you been watching my New York Yankees? Now, the main reason why I have such issues with Major League Baseball is because how do you let that shit fly with the Houston Astros? Because the steroid joint has always been a joke to me. Baseball's been always FOS when it comes to the steroid stuff. But again, have you seen my New York Yankees? Them boys, now we lost last night. We lost last night against Toronto. But hey, you know what? The Yankees are doing their thing. We could be in line. We very well could be in line this season for a Subway Series, because the Yankees aren't the only team in New York that's doing their thing. The New York Mets are handling their business in the NL East. But you know what? Again, as the sports guy, I'm going to give shout outs to my New York Yankees, 49-17. You heard that? 49-17. Right now, running away with the American League East. Don't let up, fellas. Don't let up. And then, like I said, I'm giving shout outs to the New York Mets as well. 44-24, heading up the National League East. So again, this is going to be a dry period in sports unless you are an avid baseball fan. And but you know football is coming. We know football is coming. Y'all know football is coming. They know football is coming. Not just professional football, college football, because I just haven't been able to get into the USFL the way that, you know, I would have hoped to. It's good quality football. It actually is good quality football. But the fact that now fans are back in stands and they're playing their season is in kind of like a bubble capacity, which would have been genius 2 years ago. That would have been a genius move 2 years ago. I was calling, I don't know if you guys remember, that's what I was saying the NFL should do. That each division needed to have one stadium as their quote-unquote bubble where they could have their games. But now they're doing that in the USFL. Good quality football, but my brain is not trained to pay attention to Major League Football. And I don't say that as saying that's the name of the league, but to, you know, when the Super Bowl ends, that's when my brain kind of turns off from organized professional football. But we know the NFL is coming. We know college is coming. And then right after that, the NBA is rolling back around the clock. Now, I'm interested to see what's going to go on with the NBA in free agency. And one more quick convo about the finals. Y'all know this, man. Y'all know this. They're cutting David right here. They're cutting David right here. What up?
Hey, time to act up. You know what it is.
You already know. What time is it again?
Man, it's time to act up. Time to act a fool, bro.
You already know You already know what it is, bro. So what was your thoughts on the finals?
Honestly, I ain't even watch it. I stopped watching after game 4. After game 4, I stopped watching, bro. I was like, man, Boston about to get this game away. That was one of them championships that Golden State ain't had no business winning.
Oh, I feel the shade. I feel the shade. Championship DNA, bro. Boston wasn't ready.
Look, congratulations, Steph. He won it. More power to him. But Boston gave that series away. Boston gave him that.
You don't think the Warriors took it?
Boston gave that away. I mean, any game where Steph Curry is 0 of 9 3 points from the 3-point line, and he's still scoring 19, and Boston ain't really got no answers for nobody. Clay is playing like crap.
Hey, Andrew Wiggins was a beast, though.
Huh?
Andrew Wiggins was a beast.
Hey, more power to him. More power to him. They should have never went down like they did. And they was up, bro. They was up. I'll say this. It was a good back and forth series. So as far as finals go, that's what you want to see. All right, bro. That's what you want to see in the finals. You don't want to see no straightforward skunk. Everybody probably got their money's worth. But
not Boston fans
giving that away to Golden State like they did.
So what do you see going forward with Golden State? You think they can win another ring?
Oh yeah, anybody got the potential as far as Golden State, yeah, I think they definitely pull out another one.
So you think they will win another one?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I think they can win another one. Definitely. Steph is playing good ball since his injury come back.
Yeah, and I think Clay is going to be better next season than he was this year.
Look, he better be. He better.
I mean, he wasn't god-awful. He averaged 19 in the playoffs.
But that's not Clay numbers, though. Really
his career.
They had two games where he was, 12, 13 points?
Yeah, but you got to remember the games. But you got to remember the couple games before the finals. Game 6 where he puts up 30 and he makes 8 threes against Dallas. Same thing against Memphis. Clay's career playoff numbers is only 19 points a game, bro. It's just when he gets hot, this dude gets hot.
Yeah. I think Golden State as a team can win another one? I think their shot is as good as anybody else's. Do I think Steph Curry can win them another one? Yes. Yeah, I think they're going to spend some good money to bring in some pieces.
Well, okay, so do you have Steph Curry as the top 10 player now?
Yeah. I never not had Steph Curry as a top 10.
I'm talking about top 10 player of all time.
As all time?
Yeah.
Ooh. That's tough. I might got him at 11. I might have him at 11. He's right there.
I just gave my top 10 all time, and I put Steph in there because there were 3 players prior to Golden State winning this final series that either they were so good where the rules had to be changed and they revolutionized the game. You know, I had it, the 3 players that are already in the top 10, at least according to ESPN. Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Magic Johnson. I can never take them out because Wilt was so good to make it a fair fight, you had to change the rules. Kareem had the most unstoppable move ever, the sky hook, all-time leading scorer. Magic is the first unicorn. 6'9" point guard. Now everybody 6'9" and above wants to be a point guard. First ever a point guard at that size with that passing ability. Too quick for big men, too big for little guys, totally unguardable, a point guard who could play all 5 positions. And Steph Curry fits in that mold because he revolutionized 3-point shooting distance.
Look, that man was shooting free throws from when he got out of, or 3-point shots from when he got out of bed.
He was shooting when he got out the womb.
Yeah. Do I think he revolutionized it? No, not really, because
you said what?
Like Reggie Miller. I mean, they just as deadly with it.
I know. I didn't say as far as, 3-point shooting, as far as shots made. I understand what you're saying about like Reggie Miller and Ray Allen. I'm talking about distance. Distance. Shooting it from the logo. There was no such thing as a logo 3 before Steph Curry. it was not fashionable to take 2 steps past half court and fire up a 3. That would get your ass sat on the bench.
Yeah. They be looking at you like, nigga, you stupid.
Right, exactly. Steph, and he didn't change, and he didn't revolutionize teams shooting 3-pointers all the time, shooting 3s more than 2s. That was Mike D'Antoni's 7 seconds or less. Phoenix Suns with Steve Nash and them. But when it comes to distance, when it comes to as soon as you pass half court, you're a threat to make a 3. He changed that. He made it fashionable to me. He made it fashionable for players to do that. Now, to me, only a handful of players need to do that. If I was a coach, I would still sit somebody's ass on the bench.
Yeah.
I would still for doing that. Not him. Not Dame Lillard. Not Clay.
I wouldn't give it to him just because of that. Like, he is a threat. He's a threat from the 3-point line, or half court, or from the parking lot, or from the showers.
Right.
Like, if you don't guard him from when he get out his car at the arena, that man will spot up on you.
You ain't never lied about that.
I mean, you can't defend him. You can only hope to contain the man.
Oh yeah.
Or just shut down the whole team.
Pretty much.
Boston clearly had that play scouted. They clearly could have beat them. You know he gonna get off. You know he gonna score 35 to 40 points. But that don't mean the rest of y'all gonna do the same thing.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. You know Steph is a guaranteed shooter all day.
The best shooter ever.
But top 10, like you said, Will, Kareem, Magic, yes. Jordan, yes. Kobe, yes. I mean, that's 5, 6
That's 6
right
in
there.
his name, yeah.
That's 6 right there. He's got to be still elite right there. That's elite company that he's in.
I noticed you didn't even say LeBron.
I'm not taking anything away from LeBron, but if I had to put them 2 back-to-back stats and everything else, I would still edge LeBron minutely over Steph. I get where you coming from when it comes to Steph and how he's changed it from distance 3-point wide.
Oh, no. In my top 10, I don't have Steph over LeBron, no. On my top 10 list, I have LeBron at number 5.
You got him at 5?
Yeah.
I'd still put him lower because your top 3 right there, just the first 3 you named, those are guys that are like, these are legends.
Well, when I said Wilt, Kareem, and Magic, I'm talking about players that, they were so good, the rules had to be changed, or, they were the first of their kind. My order is actually Magic and Kareem flip-flop, whatever. Magic and Kareem 1, 2, however you want to throw that in. Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, Wilt, Bill Russell, Steph Curry, and now 9 is tricky because I have Shaquille O'Neal and Tim Duncan dead even. Now, I could either have them listed at 9 and 10, or I could have Shaq and Tim Duncan both at number 9 and throw Larry Bird in there at number 10.
Fair. No, I would definitely, I agree with you to some extent. I would definitely put Shaq in there because he's like the big man.
Well, yeah, I mean, Shaq, like I said, to me, Shaq and Duncan, they are dead even. Even though I know Duncan has one more title than him, Shaq was just so dominant.
Yeah, now that's somebody that had to revolutionize the game.
Right, I mean, because Shaq's prime with the Lakers, I just remember, I never forget the way he would shit on Tim Duncan and David Robinson in them playoff series.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Terrible.
But Duncan, class tells over time, too. Duncan, 5 championships over a span of 15 years. I can't take that away from him.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So I look at them as being dead even.
Right. Now, if you was to ask me, I would split that. I'd put Shaq in there, but to revolutionize a big man, I'd put David Robinson.
Well, remember, Shaq. To me, Shaq is a reincarnation of Wilt Chamberlain. That's what a lot of those play like. If you look at ESPN's top 10, I looked at the top 10 and I saw their list. I said a lot of these players, like outside of Magic, Kareem, and Wilt,
right.
Kobe is a reincarnation of Jordan. Jordan, for the older heads, for the cats older than us, was a reincarnation of Dr. J. LeBron is a reincarnation of Magic.
Gotcha.
Huh?
I'll give you that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, and that's 8 players now that I'd have named. You know, and where Bird and Duncan. Well, Russell. See, with Bill Russell, I can't take him out of the top 5 because 11 chips is 11 chips. But I can't take him out the top 10. I mean, I'll never have him in the top 5 for me because he was winning championships when color television was a wave of the future. There was only 8 teams back then in the NBA, and most of the Hall of Famers all played on the Celtics.
Yeah, because Boston literally was the most winningest team in the NBA.
At that point in time. Now, you go into the modern day era. I'm talking about 40 years, maybe 45 years. Well, the Lakers have carried the day.
Yeah. So good old Phil Jackson and them.
Pat Riley.
Back then later. Pat Riley. Phil Jackson's Bulls. Back in those days.
It's funny because Golden State winning this title, their franchise just broke a tie. They were tied with the Bulls for the 3rd most titles in the history of basketball. So they just won up Chicago. But anyway, bro, how was the rest of the Father's Day? I know we spoke earlier yesterday.
Yeah, I ain't do nothing much, man. Like I said, man, just went on the grill. The kids did their thing in the pool. Wifey did her schoolwork, man. It wasn't nothing much, man. It was a chill Sunday. That was it.
Yeah, that's all I did. I got Roman a cell phone, cooked on the grill. That was it.
You like the phone?
Oh, yeah, man.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
there it is.
Yeah, man.
That's all we do, man. We just do it, and we do it for them, and we keep on trucking.
Yeah, I said earlier, you know, we go all out for Mother's Day, and Calvin said that too, but Father's Day is kind of like, yeah.
Yeah, it's Sunday. Whatever. Yeah, I was looking around like, ain't nobody got me nothing? Yeah, ain't nobody. So homeboy came through and was like, Happy Father's Day. He brought me a 12-pack, got me a bottle. So, of course, later on, I cracked that joint open. Me and Mike got to working on that. I got her a bottle of wine. We got to cracking on that. And homeboy bought me a bottle. So,
bro, I got a card.
On that.
I got a card, and you know what? That is more than enough for me. I got a card because I got my kids in the house. That's more than enough for me, bro.
Yeah, that's all we need at the end of the day, man.
Oh, there's one thing I did.
Don't go for the look.
There is one thing I did want to mention to you before we got off the phone. What do you think about Deshaun Watson's situation?
All right. I'm pretty sure he's done enough with it. I'm sure he's pretty fed up with it. As far as the federal, at least, is done. Yeah, he's not going to prison. The civil stuff?
Yeah.
I said this to the missus. Look, you need to get you an Asian masseuse and pay her money under the table. And if that's what you're looking for, that's what you're looking for. But until then, keep your dick under the towel. Keep your dick under the towel. It just would have been that simple. It's just that simple. And I'm pretty sure with how many charges is he facing civilly? 20-something?
66.
God damn! So out of the 66 times that they could have hemmed your ass, and all of them heathens, somebody had to laugh before one of them said, let me see it again. Bruh, he's like we were just talking about the reincarnation of NBA players. He's the reincarnation of Bill Cosby.
Stop.
That's what he is. He need to stop it. The reason he getting the contract he getting is because all his money is tied up in the lawyers.
You ain't lying.
All his money is good. That's hush money. It's like, look, please don't send me to jail. Here go $1 million. Hey, please don't send me to jail. Here go $1 million. All his money ain't even for him. It's to pay off lawyers and bribe money. I'm sorry. Here go $1 million. I'm sorry. Here go $1 million. All his money is 66 civil charges for flashing somebody and getting a massage. Man, stop it. Stop it. Stop. If it didn't work for you the first 20 times, it ain't gonna work for you the next 46 times. You're rich. You are rich. There are hookers. Hey, bro, you pay them and they will see your junk all day. Like, bro, stop. Stop messing with regular bros. And they don't want to see your shit.
Instagram chicks, man. Goodness gracious.
No means no, motherfucker. Stop. Stop it. You are rich. You are rich. You don't need to be going out there and exposing your shit. It's a no. It's a no for me, fam. That's what they needed to say. And he must have just kept on pushing the issue. And then now it's slapping him in the face. This nigga's literally slapping him in the face every time he opens his mouth.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I'm more pressed by about the issue is Baker Mayfield punk ass. He all in his feelings and he don't get to go to OTAs because he feeling a certain type of way. That's what I'm tripping on. Like, all right, get it. He's a habitual dick shower, and he's just like, they done with me, so I don't feel like I got to go to training camp. Like, everybody's done with you, bro. Don't nobody want you. But at least you're not out there showing your dick. All I'm saying.
He better not with his fine-ass wife. Shit.
Right. So I'm like, look, Deshaun Watson, look, I've been done with the whole thing.
Oh, shit.
I'm just like, look, just pay them, get them to go away, buy them a house, whatever, and be done with it.
This nigga said a habitual dick shower.
A habitual dick shower. No, dog, stop. Stop doing what you're doing. The way you living is foul. Yeah, I've been done with the Deshaun Watson.
I feel you, bro. I feel you.
He an idiot with money.
Pretty much.
That's all he is, man. Just, I'm sure he got all the talent. Sure, he got some untapped talent, but his life right now is kind of messy.
Kinda. That's an understatement.
The contract he got, but still, stop it.
Exactly. Well, all right, bro, man. I'm gonna hit you up, bro. I just wanted to get your opinions on a couple things. Any pardon shots? Any pardon shots?
Hey, man, look. Don't be a habitual dick shower. Don't be smoke.
Hey, did you listen to that DJ Braveezy joint I did?
I'm getting ready to get in here real quick, get a bar joint, get a couple of brewskis in me, and I'm going to hit it up when I get to the house, bro. I got the rest of the evening, but I got you.
Yes, sir. All right, bro.
All right, bro, man. Take your time.
Later, man.
Later.
All right. Gone. Oh, my goodness. Oh, he gets on my damn nerves. Oh, but with that being said, what a buzzer, what a buzzer, what a buzzer. Oh, feels absolutely great to be back to the regular format for the podcast. And just a quick pardon shot in the sports world. Kyrie Irving, questions of whether he is going to decline the option and become a free agent. And there are teams that have been reported that would be interested in his services, that being the Lakers, Clippers, or the Knicks. So that'll be a discussion for next episode. But again, very happy to be back at the regular format. I hope everybody has a wonderful, safe, and blessed week. I'm about to go do some dad stuff with my kids. And don't forget to hit that subscription button and become part of the Sports+Like family, as well as the Brandon Bravon Towns family on YouTube, where I do my DJ Braveezies, you know. And the one I was talking about with David was the one that I just put out on Saturday, early Saturday morning, Tupac versus Biggie, that classic hip-hop. Yo, I'm an 80s baby. My teen years was in the 90s and early 2000s, so, you know, that stuff holds a near and dear place in my heart. But it's your boy, Brandon Bravon Towns. Hit that subscription button, hit that like button, become part of the Sports+Like fam. I'm out this. Peace, and I love you guys.